Okay, shall we start my presentation right now?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good evening and good afternoon to my friends and madam. Before I start my presentation today, I want to thank you to my madam because having me here to present my continuous assessment. So, my name is Iman Bikoyudin. I'm from D7 and I'm from Sibu Sarawak. So before I start my presentation today, I want to talk about speaking. Okay, speaking is a very important ability that allows speakers and listeners conducting in oral communication to get or sharing information. So as we know, speaking is a very important skills that especially young learners must have. So so they can conduct communication to each other. So English is one of the language that has the global demand for learners for varied L1 origins at all levels of education. So we as a preschool teacher, we need to teach our children to speak in English, because English is a global language in the world right now. So, however, ESL students developing speaking skills are always regarded as complex and challenging, require a great deal of effort to maintain. So, as a preschool teacher, they have challenges for young students to learn English. So, the systematic review addresses two questions of research. First, what are the challenges faced by ESL learners in Malaysia to speak English, and what are the effective strategies to overcome the speaking challenges among the ESL learners? So, we're going to talk about what are the challenges that young learners in Malaysia faces in learning English. So, first of the one of the challenges that ESL young learners faces while learning English is lack of confidence. As Azlan et al. 2018 says, for English language learners, speaking in English can be tough, especially if they do not have a good command of the language. A lack of confidence in the English language is the main problem for learners. Involvement of pupils in English speaking activities demands a certain amount of enthusiasm on their part. In general, intrinsic and extrinsic variables that generate yearning and energy in students to be consistently engaged and devoted to learning and engaging in learning activities are classified into intrinsic and extrinsic components. So today I'm going to talk about first of the challenges, which is lack of confidence. Confidence is very important for young learners to speak in English. For example, if the student doesn't have confidence to speak English, it will be difficult for the teachers to develop conduct work for the students to speak in English. So, what are the causes of the lack of confidence in learning English for young learners? First of all is they're afraid of doing mistake. If the student make mistake, they will afraid to get laughed by their own friends. So this is why confidence is the key for young learners to speak in English. So the second challenges that young learners faces is lack of vocabulary. As Misbah et al. 2017 says, lack of vocabulary has caused the students to face challenges in acquiring writing skills. According to Muhammad Farid et al. 2016, Students make mistakes in subject-verb agreement, pronouns, tenses, articles, preposition, and basic sentence structures. And vocabulary is a fundamental element in constructing sentences, which is the core of effective writing skill, as ASIP 2014 said. So, vocabulary also one of the most important things for us to speak in English. It is because if we don't have the vocabulary, we cannot answer someone's question in English. One of the factor that the students lack of vocabulary is the children lack of reading in English. So reading is one of the important things for young learners to learn in English. It is because by reading, the students can see, they can say the word that says in English properly. So as a preschool teacher, we must teach the students to read first, because by reading it is a basics for young learners to learn English. So the third one, the challenges that young learners faces is lack of application of the language skill. Research has shown that Malaysian students encounter problems in the application of the language skills, especially in writing, say Kabul, Mariadas and Kashif 2012, Yahya and Hashim 2013, Ma'aruf and Murad 2013, and Kok, Yunus and MB 2017. So, the students, after the English classes, in Malaysia, they doesn't use the English language outside of the school English classes. It is because the students in Malaysia not too shy, bergantung, to rely on their mother tongue in daily conversation. So if they do not use English language in their daily life, it will difficult for them to speak English fluently. So today, for the next slides, we're gonna talk about how to overcome the problem in learning English for young learners in Malaysia. So one of the things that we can do to overcome this problem is by using a positive learning atmosphere. As teachers should also provide students with a positive learning atmosphere that motivates them to learning language second method. So what does it mean by positive learning atmosphere? So we as a preschool teacher in the future, we need to make young learners to have a motivation to learn in English. So what can the preschoolers teachers can do is every time the children arrive in school, we can greet them and we can greet them every day, so they feel more happy if they go to school every day. The second thing that a preschooler can do is we don't need to pressure them to speak English fluently. For example, the student speak wrongly in English, but the teacher just correct them afterward. So this will help the students memorize things that the teacher said, and they will do not make the same mistake in the future. So the third, the next slide, we're gonna show a video about positive learning atmosphere.
We've all heard that building a positive learning environment is the foundation for all learning, but we sometimes take this for granted and lose this emphasis as the year progresses. We begin stressing about teaching content standards, testing, classroom management, grading, and so many other responsibilities and tasks that get added to our busy plate. Then we wonder why some students might be struggling academically, behaviorally, or in developing SEL skills. Hopefully this section can help us reappraise the impact that a positive learning environment can have on learning and inspire you to continue building and growing relationships throughout the year and not just during your first month of teaching. So what is a positive learning environment? A positive learning environment is one in which students feel a sense of belonging, trust others, and feel encouraged to tackle challenges, take risks, and ask questions. All SEL learning thrives in these conditions. The three elements of a positive learning environment are trusting teacher-student relationships, a supportive learning community, and cognitively engaging instruction. These all reinforce each other. Let's explore these further. The foundation of any positive learning environment is trusting teacher-student relationships. Notice the keyword is trust. Trust is paramount to creating psychological safety, the conditions that allow students to be authentic and to take the risks necessary for learning. The power of teacher-student relationships has been extensively studied and is essential in improving student achievement, which includes GPA and test
As I
scores,
said before,
attendance,
after the children
behavior, as reported by a decline in classroom disruption, suspensions, detention, or referrals,
we can get trust
school culture,
student relationship.
SEL skill mastery, graduation rates, intrinsic motivation, and mental health, especially for students with trauma and disadvantaged backgrounds. Strong positive relationships have also a strong impact on teachers themselves, which include improved mental health, teaching quality, resilience, less stress, more fulfillment in the profession, and an improvement in their own SEL skills, to name a few. The second element in a positive learning environment is a supportive learning community consisting of positive peer-to-peer interactions, routines, expectations, policies, and environmental supports that support learning, risk-taking, a strong sense of community, and a healthy emotional well-being. The third element is a cognitively engaging learning environment where learning is fun, valuable, urgent, equitable, challenging, student-driven, distraction-free, and mastery-based. This proves to students that they are actually learning and developing their potential in your classroom. This creates a deep investment and trust in the teacher's leadership because it is evident that if we follow the teacher's guidance, we will learn and succeed. This not only produces more intrinsic motivation and ownership of their academics and behavior, but helps create a sense of community and the desire to help others learn and follow the teacher's expectations. All these three support each other. If you trust your teacher and know that he or she cares about you, then you'll want to contribute to the learning community and support others. And you'll be more engaged in the learning process. Notice how everything begins with trusting teacher-student relationship.
So that's the things that we need to have positive. So that's why we need to have a positive learning atmosphere in the classroom. So the next thing we can do is use a modern technology. As Abu Bakar et al. 2017 said, online communication media, for example, asynchronous online discussion forums may provide a space platform for low-skilled students to practice their language skills in the second language. So, as we know, our country has been developing. As we know, as a few years past, our country have been developing many technologies for the usage of our people in this country. So why not we use the technology modern technology that have been developed by our country in using to for low-skilled students to practice the language. For example, this TV, we can use a lot of things by using this TV to young learners. For example, we can show them a video about how to spell properly. This will cause the students feel more enjoy while learn in class, because they have a lot of visual and many colors in this TV. So secondly, it is also make easier for we as a preschool teacher to teach our students properly and very good in speaking English. So lastly, I want to it is of how to overcome the problem in learning English is the student responsibility. So as students are responsible towards their learning, since attitude to language learning cannot be directly observed but be inferred from response during lessons, which is mean students does not have to rely 100% to their preschool teacher. At home, they can also study the English language themselves by reading books that in English language. Other than that, they also can watch some kids video in English language. So it is because by watching the video, the students can hear, can pronounce, and can see the words that they have been learned during that day. So lastly, the student also need to practice it. The student also need to practice things that they learn at home and in the classroom. For example, speak English in their daily life with their friends or their teacher. So this is, for example, by using technology. Oh, I forgot to show you the video just now. So I'm today gonna show you the video.
When using video in the classroom, it is best to use short clips. It's not a good idea to play a video and have your young learners just sit and watch the screen for more than a few minutes at a time. That is why the videos in our world have been divided into short, manageable clips that present the following: vocabulary through amazing photos, grammar in animated contexts, songs performed by our fun hosts.
So by using this kind of video, the children will feel more enjoy while learning English.
Read by the host using images from the Our World readers. Take a look at how this teacher uses the video to present language and then switches to the student book to check comprehension and practice.
For a books from the library, I read a lot of books. Do you like to read? No. Who is for? Library.
So that's all my presentation for today, and I hope the things that the things that I say in this presentation can be applied for our pre-students future in the future. So thank you. So this is my reference to get the information about challenge in learning English for young learners and how to overcome this problem.
Okay. Just now you mentioned about one of the challenges is lack of confidence, lack of vocabulary, and you mentioned about students do not speak English outside their English class, right?
Yes.
So in your opinion, based on your own experience, do you speak or try to speak English outside your English class?
Yes, based on my experience, I try to speak English outside my class to improve my own English language skills. So these things needs to apply for especially for young learners, so they don't feel awkward when speaking English with other people outside the classroom.
Okay, so you also talk about one of the ways to overcome challenges is by creating a positive learning environment, right?
Yes.
That is towards a teacher in the classroom, right? Teacher needs to create a positive learning environment. What about at home? How do you help parents to create a positive learning environment at home?
So first thing that I will do is during the open day, I will invite all the parents' children to have a meeting about the importance of learning English for young learners. So this will improve the parents' knowledge about the importance of using English in our daily life. So this will have the children will have a habit of using English every day until if they want to go in a first primary school, they will have no problem in speaking in English.
Okay, my last question is, you mentioned about preschoolers' responsibility, the students' responsibility towards speaking English, right? So do you think that a preschooler who is in the age 4, 5, 6 now, right? Do you think that they understand responsibility? Do you think that they understand the word responsibility, the meaning of it, and what is their responsibility as a preschooler?
No, I don't think they don't know the what's called the responsibility.
So how can you go back to that slide? So how can you overcome the challenge, the challenges by helping the students to know their responsibility at a young age?
For me, I think the students to know the students' responsibility at young age is we need to we need to conduct. We need to make a habit for the students. So make a habit for the students, such as we teach him on how to to grow plants. So every day as we know, we need to grow. We need to water the plants every day. So this will create a responsibility for the students. Need to to water the plants every day. So this will make the students know what is the students' responsibility.
Okay, so how do you put in the context where they understand their responsibility in learning English? What is the relationship between growing a plant and watering is their responsibility, and the relationship between their responsibility in learning English?
So the relationship between those things is if during every day they need water the plants, so the students need to water the plants every day. So in order the students to get better English language skills, then they will need to read or practice the English language every day. So they does not have a problem in speaking English in the future.
Okay, that's all from me, Ariel. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.